Hello, Algebra 2 students. This is our review for our mid-semester 1 exam. Since we're not going to be spending any class time working on it, I wanted to give you this video if you guys needed help. So get out the packet that you got distributed out in class today, and here we go. First question is to solve this equation. So stop the video, give it a try, and then come back to hear the explanation. Welcome back. First step you want to do is you want to distribute out. So we're going to distribute out this 5. So we're going to end up with 10x plus 15 plus, and now we're going to distribute out this positive 2 to both terms. So plus 2x minus 12 equals 39. Now what do we do next? Didn't hear you. That's right, we want to combine like terms. So 10x plus 2x is 12x. We have a positive 15 and a negative 12. Gives us a plus 3 equals 39. Now we subtract 3 to both sides. We're left with 12x equals 36. Divide both sides by 12. And x equals 3. Yay! Okay, next problem. Solve and graph. Negative 6 less than 2x minus 8 less than 10. It's been a long time since we've done this problem, about 2 months. So see if you can try this one on your own and then come back for the explanation. Welcome back. Okay, first thing we want to do is solve for x. Just like we would in a normal equation, we're going to add this 8. But we're not just going to add it in the middle and to the right. Don't forget, you need to add it over here on the left-hand side as well. So negative 6 plus 8 is 2. Less than in the middle, all you're left with is 2x. And then less than on the right-hand side, 10 plus 8 is 18. Now, what would you normally do if this was an equal sign? That's right, you would divide by 2. So again, you divide everything by 2. And you're left with 1 less than x less than 9. Now, you might think we're done, but we're not done yet. What is here in capital letters? Now we need to graph it. So you're going to graph your number line. The smaller number goes on the left, the bigger number on the right. So we're going to put 1 on the left, 9 on the right. Now, you got to ask yourself, is this a solid dot or an open dot? What do you think? You're right. It is an open dot. It is an open dot because there's no equal to with our less than signs. So these are going to be open dots. Then we want all the numbers that are less than 9. So we're going to go to the left. And greater than 1, we're going to go to the right. So our answer is everything here in between the 1 and the 9. And that is your answer. Next problem. Absolute value of 2x plus 5 equals 13. How many answers do you need for this one, Before you get started, how many answers do you need? Yep, that's right. You need 2. Yes, 2 answers to this problem. So we need to set up 2 different equations. So we're going to have 2x plus 5 equals 13. That's your basic first equation. Your second equation, do you remember what to do? Here you go. You're going to change the sign of the number on the right-hand side. So we're going to do 2x plus 5 equals negative 13. And you're going to solve both of these equations. So we're going to subtract 5, 2x equals 8. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 4. Don't circle it. Do not circle it yet. You're going to solve the next one. Subtract 5 to both sides. 2x equals negative 18. Divide both sides by 2. And x equals negative 9. Don't circle it yet. You now need to go back and check your answers to see if they work in the original equation. Remember, we always do this with absolute values. So we're going to plug the 4 back into our original equation. So the absolute value of 2 times 4 plus 5 equals 13. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. What is the absolute value of 13? That's correct. It's 13. And does 13 equal 13? Why, yes. Yes, it does. So that works out. So 4 is one of your answers. Now you can go back and circle it. You're going to do the same thing with negative 9. Absolute value of 2 times negative 9 plus 5 equals 13. 2 times negative 9 is negative 18 plus 5 equals 13. Negative 18 plus 5 is negative 13 equals 13. And what is the absolute value of negative 13? That's correct. 13. So does 13 equal 13? Yes. Yes, it does. So now you can go back and circle that x equals negative 9. Now, if you ended up with something that's not true when you check it, if you ended up here with, let's say, 12 equals 13, then this would not be an answer. The 4 would not work. So if what you end up with is true, your answer works. If what you end up with is false, then your regular answer does not work. And next one, there we go. Solve and graph. So now we have the absolute value of 5x minus 8 is greater than 32. So we're going to combine two of our previous problems, an absolute value problem and then a graphing on an inequality line problem, same problem. So same thing happens here. You need two inequalities. So you have 5x minus 8 greater than 32. And then your second inequality is going to be 5x minus 8. Remember, you need to switch your inequality, so now it's going to become less than. And you need to switch your right-hand side number to negative 32. And you're going to solve both of these inequalities now. You're going to add 8. So 5x is greater than 40. And divide both sides by 5. And x is greater than 8. Then you're going to do your second one. Add 8 to both sides. 5x is less than negative 24. Divide both sides by 5. And x is less than negative 24 fifths, which is the same thing as negative 4 and 4 fifths. Now, we're not quite done yet, because what else does it say? It says to graph. So now we're going to roll out a number line. Your smaller number goes on the left-hand side, which is negative 4 and 4 fifths. Your big number goes on the right-hand side, which is 8. Open or close dots? That's right. They're both open again because there's no equal to. Excuse me. And now we need to graph this. It's x is greater than 8. So that means we're going to go to the right of 8 because all the numbers here are bigger than 8 to the right. Then we want x is less than negative 4 and 4 fifths. So we go to negative 4 and 4 fifths, and we're going to color in to the left of those because those numbers are less than negative 4 and 4 fifths. So that is your answer. Next one is very similar to that. The absolute value of 3x plus 9 less than or equal to 15. Give this one a try and come back to it. Okay, so again, same thing as the last one. We need to separate it into two inequality statements. 3x plus 9 less than or equal to 15. 3x plus 9 greater than or equal to negative 15. Remember to switch the inequality and the sign of the number. Now solve both of these. Subtract 9, subtract 9. 3x is less than or equal to 6. Divide both sides by 3. X is less than or equal to 2. All right, next one, you're going to subtract 9 to both sides. So we get 3x is greater than or equal to negative 24. Divide both sides by 3. And x is greater than or equal to negative 8. Now we graph this on a number line. Negative 8 is on the left. 2 is on the right. Open or close dots? Ah, this time they are closed. You are correct. Because of this equal to right here. So this is going to be a closed dot for both of them. And we want all the numbers that are less than 2. So we're going to go to the left. And greater than -8. So we're going to go to the right. And they have to fit both criteria. So it's only going to be the ones here in the middle between our two numbers. All right, next problem is our conversions. Yes, on your exam we will give you the conversions. You just need to know how to apply them. So we always start out with what they give us and we put it over 1. So 492 yards over 1. And then you ask yourself, can you go straight from yards to inches? Nope, we're going to go to feet first. So yards is on top of our first fraction. So it goes on the bottom of the next one. Feet go on top. Then we're going to go from feet to inches. Feet are on top of this fraction, so they're going to go on the bottom of our next one. Inches go on top. After we have our units, now we're going to fill in our numbers. We go back. Which one's bigger, a foot or a yard? Yard's bigger, so that gets the number 1. Whichever one is bigger gets the number 1. How many feet are in a yard? 3 feet are in a yard. Next fraction. Which one's bigger, an inch or a foot? That's right. A foot is bigger. How many inches in a foot? 12. Now, after you have all of your numbers, now go through and cancel out your units. If you don't do this step, your science teachers will be mad at me. So make sure you go back and you cancel out your units. Yards on top, yards on bottom, so they can cancel out. Feet on top, feet on bottom, so they can cancel out. Okay, so now you multiply all the numbers across the top. So 492 times 3 times 12 gives us 17,712 inches. On the bottom, 1 times 1 times 1 just gives us 1. And 17,712 divided by 1 is 17,712 inches. Again, making sure you label your answer with the inches. Okay, next one. Convert 692 inches per second to miles per hour. So take a moment, stop the video, try this one out on your own, and then come back and check your answer. Okay, for this one you should have gotten 39.32 miles per hour. If you got that, continue on to the next question. If not, stay along for the explanation. Okay, for the explanation, we start out with what they give us. 692 inches per second. Per means we're going to put a division sign in here over 1 second. And now we're going to convert. I always convert my distances first. I don't know why. I just do it that way. So inches are on top. So then inches are going to go on bottom of the next fraction. And we're going to go to feet next. And then we're going to go from feet to miles. So feet are on top of this fraction, so they're going to go on the bottom. Miles go on top. Now I'm going to convert my time. Seconds are on the bottom of this fraction. So in order for them to cancel out, they need to go on the top of the next fraction. We're going to go seconds to minutes, and then we're going to go minutes to hours. So again, minutes is on the bottom, so minutes have to go on top, hours go on bottom. Now we go back and we fill in our numbers. 1 foot is 12 inches. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. 1 minute is 60 seconds. And 1 hour is 60 minutes. So now, after you've filled in all of your numbers, now you can go back through and cancel out your units to make sure we ended up with what we were supposed to. The inches cancel, one's on top, one's on bottom. The feet cancel, one's on top, one's on bottom. The seconds cancel, one's on top, one's on bottom. And then the minutes cancel, one's on top, one's on bottom. So we multiply across the top. 692 times 1 times 1 times 60 times 60 gives us 2,491,200 miles. Then on the bottom we multiply 1 times 12 times 5,280 times 1 times 1 And we get 63,360 hours. And now you divide those two numbers, and we end up with an answer of 39.32 miles per hour. And that is your answer. Next one. You are applying fertilizer to a soccer field. The field is 200 feet long and 120 feet wide. You use 10 pounds of fertilizer per 1,000 square feet. The fertilizer comes in 60-pound bags. How many bags of fertilizer do you need to complete the job? So take a moment, see if you can figure out this problem, and then come back for the explanation. Okay, you should have 5 bags that you need to purchase in order to do this problem. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little picture over here. So my soccer field is 240 feet by 120 feet. So first thing I'm going to do is I need to find out how much area I need to cover with my fertilizer. So how do you find the area of a rectangle? Yep, that's right. You're going to multiply them together. So 120 times 240 is 28,800 feet squared. So now we need to find out how many pounds of fertilizer we're going to use. So I'm going to take the 28,800 feet squared and put it over 1. Now I'm going to use this little bit of information here. 10 pounds of fertilizer per 1,000 square feet. So feet squared is on the top of my fraction. I'm going to put it on the bottom of my next one. And we have our conversion of pounds. So LB for the abbreviation for pounds. And they tell us that 10 pounds covers 1,000 feet squared. So now we're going to cancel our feet squared. 28,800 times 10 divided by 1,000 is 280 pounds that we need to have of fertilizer to cover the soccer field. But that's not what it's asking. It's asking how many bags of fertilizer do you need to complete the jobs. So we have 280 pounds we need. They come in 60-pound bags. So we're going to take the 280 pounds divided by the 60-pound bags. So 60 pounds per bag. And 280 divided by 60 is 4.67 bags. Now, I don't know about you, but I know of no store that I've ever been in that will only let you get 0.67 of a bag. So you got to round up that we need to have 5 bags in order to cover the field. So your answer is 5 bags. Next question. The weekly salary for a salesperson is $335 plus a 5% commission or tip on total sales. The salesperson would like to earn at least $875 per week. What is the least amount the salesperson must sell in order to produce the desired salary? So again, try it on your own. See if you can come up with an equation and solve it. Your answer should be 10,800. Now we need to set up an equation. So no matter what is the salesperson making every week, no matter what? Exactly. They're making $335. That's how much they're making per week. They're guaranteed that salary. Then on top of that, so in addition to, so we're going to add in a 5% commission. Now how do you write percent as a decimal? Exactly. You're going to move the decimal over 2, and it's going to be 0.05 times the total sales. We don't know the total sales. That's what we're trying to find, so that's our variable. So 0.05x plus 335, and we want to make at least $875 per week. So if we want to make at least $875, that means we could make more than that, so it's going to be greater than or equal to 875. And now we solve the inequality. You're going to subtract 335 to both sides. So we get 0.05x greater than or equal to 540. Divide both sides by 0.05. and x is greater than or equal to $10,800. And the question asks, what is the least amount the salesperson must sell? The least amount is the $10,800 right there that they have to sell in order to make the $875 that they want to. Okay, next question. Ooh, graphing. So we want to graph the line 2x minus 3y equals 15. So for this one, you need to put it in slope-intercept form, so we need to solve for y. So take a moment, do that, and come back to see if your graph matches mine. Welcome back. We're going to subtract 2x to both sides. We're left with negative 3y equals, we always like to write our x term first, so negative 2x plus 15. Now to get the y by itself, you're going to divide everything by negative 3. And you're left with y equals a negative divided by a negative gives us a positive. So 2/3 and then x. 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. So this is the equation we're going to graph. Our y-intercept is negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5. That's our y-intercept. Your slope is 2/3. You go up 2 over 3. Up 2 to the right 3. Up 2 to the right 3. And of course we want some points on the negative x-axis as well. So we're going to go down to back 3. Down to back 3. Down to back 3. And that is our line. Now try and draw as straight a line as you can. I'm on a smartboard here, so it's a little harder for me to draw a straight line. And there you go. That's your answer. Yay! Next one. Ooh, what is the equation of the line that has a slope of 5/4 and passes through the point negative 8, 3? Excuse me. For this one, you need to use the point slope form that became our best friend in Unit 2. So again, just as a reminder, your point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. Okay, reminding you of that, hopefully you can do the problem now. So give it a try and come back to see if you match our answer of 5/4 x plus 13. Welcome back. So it's y minus our y value, which is 3, equals our slope, which was 5/4, times x minus our x value of negative 8. So y minus 3 equals a negative negative here becomes a plus a positive, and we distribute out the 5/4. 5/4 times x is 5/4 x, and 5/4 times 8, what is that again? That is 10. Now the last step is just getting the y by itself. We're going to add 3 to both sides, and you get y equals 5/4 x plus 13, and there you go. All right, next question is very similar to that. Write an equation of a line that passes through the points 3, negative 9, and 1, 5. So same concept of the last problem, but what is this one missing? Yep, that's right. It's missing the slope. So we need to find the slope. So we need to use our slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 5 minus negative 9 over 1 minus 3. 5 minus negative 9 becomes plus a positive. So 14 over 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So 14 divided by negative 2 is negative 7. And that's the slope we're going to use. Again, with our point slope form, we're going to do again. So it's going to, and you do, when you do point slope here, you can use either point, either the first point or the second point. It does not matter which one you use. Either one will get you the correct answer. That's math magic. So I'm going to use this first point, 3, negative 9. So y minus negative 9 equals negative 7 times the quantity x minus 3. Negative negative 9 becomes plus a positive. So we have y plus 9 equals, I'm going to distribute out the negative 7. So negative 7x plus 21. We're going to subtract 9 to both sides. And you get y equals negative 7x plus 12. And that is your answer. We're almost done. 2 questions left for our midterm review. Write the equation of a line that is parallel, yes, parallel, to the line 9x plus 6y equals 12 and passes through the point 10, negative 8. For this one, we got to do a little work ahead of time. It doesn't give us a slope again in the normal sense, but it does give it to us. So we need to take this equation they gave us, and we need to find its slope. 9x plus 6y equals 12. Subtract 9x. 6y equals negative 9x plus 12. Divide everything by 6. Y equals negative 3 halves x plus 2. Now, it says we want the line that is parallel to that. So think back to Unit 2, and what do we know about lines that are parallel? Yes, they never cross. What else do we know about them? Specifically, what do we know about their slopes? Yes, that is correct. Their slopes are the same. So we solved this equation here in blue just to get the slope of negative 3 halves. Because it's parallel, we're going to keep that slope for our problem. And again, we're going to go back to our good friend, the point slope form, to plug it in to find our equation. So y minus negative 8 equals negative 3 halves times x minus 10. Negative negative 8 becomes plus a positive. So y plus 8 equals, we distribute out the negative 3 halves. We get negative 3 halves x. And then negative 3 halves times negative 10 is a positive 15. And subtract 8 to both sides. And you get y equals negative 3 halves x plus 7. And that is your answer, negative 3 halves x plus 7. And then for the last problem, you're going to need your graphing calculator out. We're going to have you calculate the line of best fit from the data table below. So I'm going to walk you through the steps in order to get this on your calculator. If you think you already know the steps and remember them, then this should be your answer. Y equals 0.91x plus 1.69. So in order to do this problem, you need to hit the Stat button on your calculator. And then you want to arrow over to Edit. And then you're going to plug in your numbers. All of your x values are your L1s, and your y's are your L2 values. So you're just going to plug them in. 0, 3, 5, 6, 10, 11, 13, 14, 18 for your L1s. And your L2s are 2, 5, 5, 7, 9, 13, 14, 16, 17. So after you've inputted all of your data, then you're going to go back to the Stat button. And this time you're going to hit the Calc button. And we want the linear regression, the one that's going to give us the line of best fit. So you're going to hit number 4, LinReg. And it's going to give you a screen. So you're going to hit that, hit enter, and then you're going to have to hit enter again. And then it's going to give you what your A and your B are, and that is your slope and your y-intercept. So you would just write it in the form of an equation. Y equals 0.91x plus 1.69, and that is your answer. So if you have any questions, make sure you come in Friday before class to ask me anything, and I hope you all have a marvelous evening and afternoon, and have a marvelous day.